Breaking news on Good Morning El Paso.
And I just want to say that the end of the pandemic is in sight.
Those are the words of President Trump just hours before testing positive for COVID-19, along with the First Lady. What the White House's doctor is saying about how they're doing this morning.
And more breaking news. We just learned minutes ago another 5 people have died of coronavirus in El Paso. We're going to break down all those new numbers just in.
Plus, more breaking news. One person is dead following an overnight shooting on I-10. We'll give you a live look at the investigation that's taking place right now.
And before you head out the door this morning, take a look at your screen. A major backup on I-10 East as you start to head close to downtown El Paso. We'll show you the alternate routes. We'll show you how bad the backup is coming up.
And police identified the victim of a deadly motorcycle crash. We'll tell you what investigators say played a factor in this collision.
Also, the former Las Cruces police officer accused of using a deadly chokehold will be back in court today. What a judge is set to rule on and what Christopher Smelzer's defense team plans to argue today.
Live, where news comes first. This is ABC 7 with breaking news.
Good morning, everyone. We are following several breaking news stories right now on Good Morning El Paso. One person is dead, another wounded after a shooting in Central.
Happened near I-10 East at Piedras, and the closure is causing major delays for drivers. We have a crew at the scene, and we'll have a live report coming up in just minutes.
But let's get to that major breaking news right now out of Washington. Overnight, President Trump announcing that both he and the First Lady have tested positive for coronavirus. This news coming just 32 days before the election. President Trump tweeting overnight, "The First Lady and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together." And the First Lady adding, quote, "As too many Americans have done this year, the President and I are quarantining at home. Please be sure you are staying safe and we will all get through this together," end quote. And the White House physician saying both of them are well. They do plan to remain at home within the White House. Late Thursday, President Trump announced plans to quarantine after one of his closest advisors, Hope Hicks, tested positive. Sources telling ABC News that Hicks is experiencing symptoms. This is what the president said just yesterday before testing positive.
We are on track to develop and distribute a vaccine before the end of the year, and maybe substantially before. And I just want to say that the end of the pandemic is in sight.
The White House is canceling all events scheduled for the president for today and for tomorrow, including rallies that he had in Florida and in Wisconsin. And just minutes ago, the White House announcing Vice President Mike Pence has tested negative.
Now to more breaking news. Another 5 people have died of COVID-19 in El Paso, and we're seeing a major spike in cases. Local health officials just announced minutes ago the victims included 4 men and 1 woman. They ranged in ages between their 60s and their 80s. That means the county's death toll now stands at 529. Officials reporting 329 new cases and 4 additional positive results from tests that are weeks old. So this is the first time we've actually seen a daily increase of more than 300 cases since early August, and it means we're at nearly 25,000 confirmed cases. Another 141 people have recovered, and the number of active cases now stands at 3,999. If you missed any of this information, just go to our website, kvia.com. It's currently our top story. Hillary.
And more breaking news to get to. Another top story. As we mentioned at the top of the show, 2 people were shot in central El Paso. Police telling us one of those victims has died. This happened right near I-10 and Piedras, right around 3:20 a.m. And that's where we find Good Morning El Paso's Madeline Adelay. She's live right now with the details. What can you tell us?
Hillary, police told us this morning that at least 1 person has now been taken into custody. They also told us that that victim who died right here on the scene. All of this taking place right in the eastbound lanes of I-10 here near Piedras. We've seen a lot of activity here in the last 15 minutes. Officers and detectives coming together, surrounding almost a circle and looking down at the ground. It's unclear what they might be looking at. We've also seen them throughout the morning surrounding a parked vehicle with both the front doors open, even taking some pictures of that. It's that same spot we saw them speaking with a man throughout the morning who could potentially be a witness. Police have not said how that man or that car might be involved. They also have not been able to tell us exactly what led up to the shooting or provide any information about the suspect who's involved custody or any charges that individual might be facing. They also have not been able to provide any information about who the victims might be. What we can tell you this hour is if you are heading eastbound on I-10, this will impact your morning commute. As you can see behind me, all of those eastbound lanes in this area have been shut down throughout the morning during this investigation. All traffic being diverted now at that downtown exit. I spoke with the police supervisor who tells me he's still unsure how long these closures could last. We are expecting now to speak with a police spokesman in about 25 minutes to get more information to answer some of these questions we've been asking all morning long. As the story develops, we'll bring you the latest both live on air and online at kvia.com. Reporting live in central El Paso, Madeline Adelante, good morning, El Paso.
All right, Madeline, thanks so much. You mentioned it right now. We're seeing major delays if you are heading out the door. Here's a better perspective to show you just how far back that cars are lined up. This is I-10 near the Porfirio Diaz exit. So the eastbound lanes, this is where you get off and you can get to downtown El Paso. Major delays in this area, and it's only going to start to get worse as the morning continues. So again, I mentioned it earlier, your best bet is to take the Border West Expressway. Now, we want to show you the traffic flows and show you how far the backup looks from that overhead view. So take a look. That red that you're seeing is that backup. It's just a little bit past downtown. Anytime we see red on the traffic flows, that means it's stop and go traffic. So that's going to add a lot of time to your commute if you get stuck in it. The purple that we're seeing, that just shows that the system recognizes that the interstate is closed off there. So it's closed off from downtown all the way to the Spaghetti Bowl. So you pass the Spaghetti Bowl, you should be good to get back onto I-10. Border West Expressway, again, that's going to be your best bet heading out the door. You can take Montana Avenue, depending on where you're trying to get to in central El Paso, or if you're trying to go all the way from the west side to the east side, just take Trans Mountain. It's going to take a little bit longer than usual, but these delays are only going to get worse, and we'll keep you updated all morning long. Nicole?
Thank you, Mauricio. Time now 6:37. Weather and traffic on the 7s. If you're heading out right now, stop and look at this gorgeous shot. This is a shot from our ABC 7 weather deck. You can see in the corner of the screen there, the winds or the tree is swinging a little bit this morning. Again, this is the west side of town, so it is a little breezy, but as you can see, it is beautiful out there. We are waking up to clear skies and mild temperatures this morning. Now, let's take you to our ABC 7 Weather Net site sponsored by the Mattress Firm, showing the Texas Tech Health Science Center. We're at 64 degrees, 50s at Presa Elementary School. So area-wide, that's really what we are seeing. 50s, 60s in some spots. East side of town, as you can see, Dale City area, Sierra Blanca in the 50s, and Silver City at 49 degrees. So maybe a light jacket this morning, 7 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we'll be seeing southeast winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour in the upper 60s at that time. You'll definitely need these sunglasses this afternoon. 88 is going to be the high for Vado, 90s for La Union, Santa Teresa running well above average, just like we have for the past several days. 87 for Hatch, Mesilla, 92 Anthony, and we'll be in the 90s for Sunland Park. So cool start to the morning. We'll warm up this afternoon. I have your Friday night football forecast plus your weekend forecast coming up with your weather and traffic on the 7s.
All right, good info. Thank you, Nicole. Some NFL teams are using technology to stop the spread of the virus.
We'll tell you how it works and the essential information that these drones and robots are giving the teams. It's 6:39.